Stage 1. Survival. You wake up before the sun rises, not because you're disciplined, not because you're chasing productivity, but because life doesn't give you the option to rest. When you make about $2 a day, every hour matters. You sit up slowly on a thin mattress that has lost its shape years ago. The room is quiet, not peaceful quiet. The kind of quiet that reminds you how small your life feels right now. The walls are cracked. The paint is fading. The fan above your head turns slowly, struggling against the heat. You check your pockets. A few coins, a couple of crumpled bills. That's your entire economy. You already know what the day will look like. Breakfast doesn't exist. Lunch might be bread and water if the money stretches far enough. Dinner depends on whether the day goes well. Your entire financial system is fragile. If your phone stops working, you lose work. If you lose work, you lose income. If you lose income, you lose food. And if you get sick, you don't go to the hospital. Because hospitals are for people who can afford to be sick, so you keep moving. You count coins before leaving the house. You calculate every decision like a mathematician. Transport or food. Food or electricity. Electricity or phone data. Sometimes you walk long distances just to save a little money. You watch buses pass you by because the fare costs too much. When people online talk about chasing your dreams, you almost laugh. Because when you're making $2 a day, dreams feel like luxury. At this level, you're not chasing dreams. You're chasing survival. Stage 2. Stability. Years pass. Not quickly, slowly, painfully slowly. But eventually something changes. You find stable work, maybe a job, maybe consistent freelance work. Maybe a small opportunity that slowly grows. Now you earn about $300 a month. To some people, that number still sounds small. But to you, it feels like oxygen. For the first time in your life, your rent gets paid before the deadline. You can buy groceries without counting every single coin. You recharge your phone data without feeling guilty. You sit down in the evening and relax for a few minutes. And for the first time in years, your mind isn't racing with panic. But life is still fragile. Very fragile. One hospital bill, one family emergency, one job loss, and everything collapses again. You're walking on financial glass. One wrong step and the whole system breaks. Still, something powerful appears in your life. Something you didn't feel before. Hope. Stage 3. Comfort. Then one day, something bigger happens. Maybe you learn a skill. Maybe you start a small business. Maybe an opportunity appears that you've been preparing for. Suddenly, you're making about $1,000 a month. Now life begins to feel different. You move into a better apartment. Nothing luxurious, but the walls are clean. The water runs. The electricity stays on. You buy a laptop that doesn't freeze every 10 minutes. You replace your worn-out shoes. You buy clothes not because the old ones tore, but because you like them. And then something simple happens. You go to a restaurant. Not a luxury restaurant. Just a normal place. But the first time you walk in, order food, and pay without fear, it feels incredible. You sit there quietly eating, and part of you is thinking, I used to dream about moments like this. But even now, you work like someone who remembers poverty. Because you do. Stage 4. Freedom. Then the real transformation begins. At $5,000 a month, survival pressure disappears. Bills become routine instead of stressful. You move into a modern apartment. Nice furniture, bright lighting, comfortable space. Your home finally feels like a place you enjoy coming back to. Then comes something symbolic. Your first real car. Not a supercar, but a car that's yours. The kind you used to admire when it drove past you on the street. The first time you sit behind the wheel, you pause. You remember the days when you couldn't even afford transport, and now you're driving your own car. Then you travel for the first time. Your first real vacation changes your perspective. You check into a beautiful hotel. Marble floors, soft lighting, a room overlooking the ocean. You lie on the bed staring at the ceiling thinking, how did I get here? But something else happens. Your ambition grows. Because now you realize something powerful. Money is actually possible. Stage 5. Security. At $20,000 a month, life upgrades again. Luxury becomes normal. You stay in 5-star hotels, rooms with balconies facing the ocean, hotels where the staff greet you by name. You join exclusive vacation clubs, the kind where members travel around the world staying in luxury resorts. Suddenly, your weekends happen in places people save years to visit. Private beaches, island resorts, luxury mountain lodges. You fly business class. You sit in airport lounges while others wait at crowded gates. You stop worrying about bills completely. Instead, you start thinking about assets. You buy apartments, commercial buildings, investment properties. You attend meetings discussing deals worth more than the money you once made in 5 years. And sometime, in quiet moments, you remember the version of yourself who struggled to afford lunch. Stage 6. Abundance. At $100,000 a month, money stops feeling like something you chase. Now money works for you. Your businesses grow. Your investments multiply. Your assets generate income even while you sleep. You begin buying things you once thought only billionaires owned: hotels, luxury real estate, vacation properties, entire resorts. You fly first class across continents. You stay in presidential suites. Your vacations last weeks instead of days. But something surprising happens. The biggest luxury isn't the cars, or the houses, or the resorts. It's time. You wake up when you want. You choose when to work. Your schedule belongs entirely to you, and that freedom feels better than any luxury purchase. Stage 7. Legacy. When you reach this level, something unexpected happens. Your lifestyle doesn't change much anymore, because you can only drive one car, sleep in one bed, eat one meal at a time. So money stops being about spending. It becomes about building. You invest in companies, you buy hotels, you fund projects, you build businesses that employ hundreds or thousands of people. You donate money, you help families who are living the life you once lived. Because you remember everything. The stress, the fear, the uncertainty, the nights when you stared at the ceiling wondering if life would ever change. And you realize something powerful. The life you built started with someone who simply refused to quit. The truth about wealth. Most people think money changes your life overnight, but that's not how it works. Wealth changes you, level by level. At $2 a day, you think about food. At $300 a month, you think about survival. At $1,000 a month, you think about progress. At $5,000 a month, you start dreaming bigger. At $20,000 a month, you experience luxury. At $100,000 a month, you gain freedom. And at millions, you start thinking about legacy. Because the greatest luxury wealth gives you is not cars, not hotels, not vacations. It's the ability to design your own life.